I was gonna come in and play video games with y'all, but then I started getting texts, I started getting emails, hell, I started getting calls about this damn doll right here, or this robot doll. People talking about, oh, you know who back? Your girl is back. I'm like, to a girl. They talking about, oh, Megan, man, because I thought they were talking about an ex-girlfriend of mine. Shit, they might as well be talking about like Megan is my ex-girlfriend. Hey man, she back, man. Yeah, her crazy ass is you might want to check her out, man. Y'all like, okay, all right. So many people hit me up today that we're gonna talk about this crazy ass trailer for Megan 2.0. At first, when people calling me up, I was like, it's a sequel, man. Sequels are hardly ever as good as the first one. I love the first Megan, but then I looked at this like, God damn, we probably need to come in here and talk about Megan 2.0. Let's go ahead and look at the trailer, which I'm sure you've already seen, but we're gonna go ahead and watch it together, and we'll be back with my reaction right after this.
Anyone who's contributed to her creation.
I just now noticed something. I gotta bring it up. Right here. I think this dude that got his neck snapped
Can stop her. She's gone rogue.
He was about to fuck that doll right there. He's gonna treat that like a sex doll. He ain't got no clothes on, carrying around limbs in his bag. He was gonna have sex with that. I just now noticed that.
Make you a deal. You can kill Gemma, but don't touch Katie.
Megan.
Boy, if I was Elizabeth Olsen, I'd sue the hell out this movie. They got two Elizabeth Olsens, sex-ass Elizabeth Olsens fighting. Y'all remember we said that in the first Megan, it looked like a little mini Elizabeth Olsen. Now they got two.
Make you a deal. You can kill Gemma.
Beating the fuck out of each other. I'm surprised this girl hasn't tried to get a lawyer and sue the shit out of Blumhouse yet. Y'all, Megan done lost her goddamn mind. This movie is fucking stupid. But hey, go stupid or go home. People, this sequel, and y'all been saying it in the chat the whole time, this sequel, it looks goofier, it's crazier, it's more expensive, and insanely way over the top. And it's brilliant. I think it's amazing. I mean, what the hell you want them to do? The first movie was silly as hell. I mean, they had no choice but to get more stupid with it. This is the right direction to go, in my humble opinion, right here. Like I said, what you gonna do? You gonna make another movie about a psychotic robot doll with smooth moves? No, hell no. Hey, listen. As much as I love them stanky arms right there, as much as I love that move right there, you can't repeat that magic. You can't do that again. You can't rehash that. Even the movie knows that they can't repeat that. They told you in the trailer when they said goodbye to that move with Boys to Men. It's so hard to say goodbye. People, they know that they can't even repeat what they did before. And who wants them to? That's the problem with Hollywood right now. That's the problem with sequels. Just go in and do, as we like to say, the same shit. Creatively bankrupt. Being safe. Doing the same thing over and over again. Megan said, hell no, that's not the Megan way. That's not what I do. No, they're going in and getting crazy with this. And I love it. Now take a chance. Go, like somebody said, go balls out. Get another version of Megan. Go take her to a hotel room. Try to have sex with her. Let her snap your neck. Yeah, people, I love that this has gone so over the top. And what's even crazy with this, what I think is even better with this is that it's actually, in my opinion, let me see what we got here. Because let me see here. this is actually a combination of a crazy combination of two other sequels. One of them is very obvious. Some of y'all have already been saying it.
Come with me if you want to live.
Who sent you?
You did.
People, this is T2 with a vagina, or vaginas. You know, this is pretty much almost the same thing. You know, you have you're taking a cyborg villain who was a villain in the first movie, and then taking them and making them a hero in the second movie, so that they can kill a bigger and more badass and more villainous cyborg. You know, it's when you look at what they're doing here, there's even a lot of similarities. You can already see, like in Terminator 2, where Schwarzenegger, who's the hero this time, he starts getting more damaged, so you can actually see the metallic skeleton underneath. They're doing the same thing with Megan right here. You know, so yeah, maybe doing a little bit of a ripoff, but doing it creatively. I think that's cool. So now y'all are saying, well, what's the other crazy sequel that they've combined here, and how does it play into this movie?
So the monsters are real? I didn't say that.
So y'all are saying Gremlins 2? How does that play into this? Terminator 2 I can see. But now, Corey, you talking out your ass. You just talking crazy. I don't see no Gremlins play into this. Just hear me out. Which is what people say when they usually say something stupid. But no, just hear me out here. So the reason why I said that this is a little bit of Gremlins 2 is because, well, the first Gremlins was pretty much a horror comedy. A lot of emphasis on comedy, but it was a horror comedy. The second one said, you know what? To hell with horror. Let's just go straight stupid with this. And they just made a flat out comedy. You know, they did some horror in there, but even the horror was making fun of horror. So it was a comedy, man. Straight out. It was goofier and more cartoonish the second time around. So with Megan, Megan's kind of doing the same thing, except in Megan's case, it's taking the it's taking more of the horror out, and this time becoming more of an action comedy. So, you know, I just and when you see as many movies as I do, and you see as many sequels as I do, and you see how a lot of sequels they really do play it safe. They're not, because somebody said, how is this creative? Well, I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of things in here that are creative. You know, for example, I think embracing the comedy in this actually gives them a lot of clever and fun ideas. You know, like turning Megan into a damn Fisher-Price toy. And they're doing that to punish her.
What the hell is this?
Prove you can be trusted, maybe we'll give you an upgrade.
You know, I thought that was funny, man, and that grabbed my attention immediately. I'm like, oh, okay. We are doing something a little different here. I like that. Listen, I don't expect this to appeal to everybody. And maybe because I really enjoyed the first Megan so much, all right, maybe I got a little bit of a bias here. I don't know. And I'm not saying it's going to be good either. This is just a trailer. I'm just saying, from a marketing standpoint, from taking a sequel and trying to expand on it, I think that this is cool. I think they're doing the right thing. I think that this is, again, from a marketing standpoint, this is brilliant. Hey everyone, excuse me for interrupting myself, but we do have to give a word out to our sponsor, which is Shopify. Now, I don't know if you could buy an actual killer robot doll online, but if you could, it would be on Shopify. Why? Because Shopify has tons of creative people who are entrepreneurs now selling their products online, and hey, you could be the next one. And of course, the best place to start is Shopify, because no one does selling better than Shopify. It's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet, and now they have Shop Pay, the fastest accelerated checkout on the internet that boosts conversions up to 50%. That means that you get way more sales going and way less carts getting abandoned. They have great support. So from the launch of your online shop all the way to that potential millionth order, Shopify is there to help you grow, because businesses that sell more, well, they sell on Shopify. And Shopify knows that it takes money to make money, and they want to save you some money, and that's why I have this deal for you right here. If you put in shopify.com/toasted, all lowercase, you will get a $1 per month trial period. shopify.com/TOASTED. I want to thank Shopify for sponsoring this portion of the show, and I want to thank all of you out there for your support. And now, back to me. Now, I am weirded out by certain things in this trailer. I'll let you know right now. I'm looking at this, and you know what? So let me pull up something here. One of the things that weirds me out here. So I always saw, maybe you saw it different, but I always saw Megan as a little girl. I always saw her as a kid, a psychotic kid, but I always saw her as a kid. So as you saw in the trailer here, now they've made her quote unquote taller, which just means sexier.
And while you're at it, make me taller. Let's get to work.
You know, I don't know how how I feel about that. You know, let me see here. Yeah, let me see here. Yeah, she grew up a little too fast for me. You know, that's 2 years ago. Last time I saw her, she was just a little girl. Now they got her over here, tall, switching her ass on the screen, hands on her hip. You know, I don't know, man. Now she just looks like somebody's fantasy of a weird sex doll. I don't know. I don't know. She just grew up a little too fast for me. My little Megan, you know, I didn't expect her to get at this point so soon. I'm also weirded out because speaking of weird sex doll, you know, people are jacking off over this trailer right here. You know, people just waiting on Megan to grow up. You know, not that stopped them before, but that was a little weird to me. Also, I mean, although there's some funny things that go with that, I do love that, again, adding to the comedy, that Megan has a fan club, even though she murdered a bunch of people.
I don't care if she did. She's a smoking hot warrior princess.
You know, I think that was a funny thing there. I thought that was another clever idea where the comedy made this more fun. You know, I also like that they aren't telling you a whole lot of things in the trailer. Because somebody said they're showing you the whole trailer. And as far as action goes, yeah, maybe so. But, you know, I think that they're holding back on some things. Mainly your main villain. I mean, they told you her motivation and everything.
We have a problem. We're hunting an autonomous android named Amelia. She was built using your design for Megan.
You know, yeah, they're telling you her motivation, they're telling you her history, but they're not telling you a whole lot about her. Hey, listen, they know what sells this movie. They know who's the star of the show. It's Megan. So they're going to show more of her. And that's good because, you know, I'm hoping that there's more of a reveal to what this villain is about. You know, that's one of the places I think that they're not showing you everything. You know, it's yeah, I'm looking at this, man. You know, I'm enjoying some of the things that they're doing here. I like that even though it might be weird to me that Megan's getting bigger, I do like they're making changes with her. Again, they're not relying on that gimmick of the stanky arms and everything. Now they got her looking like an anime character right here. Somebody said Alita Battle Angel. You know, they got her doing different, like ridiculous things. I got her looking like a flying squirrel going through, canyons and shit. So, listen, as I said, man, I don't know what to tell you. Yes, for a lot of people, it's going to be too stupid, and I can't blame you. You know, I get it. But like I said, it wasn't exactly the most. It wasn't the most mature movie with the first one. So, you know, I think that this is. I think it's genius maybe genius is a strong word, but I think it's again a very smart and brilliant marketing move to take this to the level that it is. This movie might suck. This movie might suck ass big time when it comes out. And if it does, I will admit that. But they sold me with this trailer right here. You know, and I'm looking forward to what they do. I'm looking forward to seeing it and seeing what they do with it. Somebody said that they're glad that they're making and making Megan a hero. Now that's one thing I got to argue with you on. Megan ain't no, she ain't no hero. Don't trust that bitch. If she comes back, if this movie is successful and she comes back, she's still gonna be a goddamn Chucky. She's still gonna be killing people. I think that's one of the things that the trailer even told you. They said, nah, she might be coming and helping for a little bit, but you can't trust her completely. Hell, the trailer even called her a bitch. I don't know if you saw that. Let me see here. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, they talking about, this bitch. This bitch can't be trusted at all. I don't think she'll team up with the new villain because Megan don't want no competition. She don't want no other bitch out there competing with her. She wants to be the bitch, and I think that she'll kill that villain for her own special interest, so she can be the one. And then once she is, she'll go back to her old shitty, evil ass ways. And you know what? That's the way I like it. Yeah, somebody said this bitch versus that bitch. Yeah, just two sexy ass robots fighting each other. I'm down with that. I'm completely down with that. I'm looking forward to this, man. Again, understand it might be a little too silly for some people out there, but I think that's kind of what it needed. How do y'all feeling about this? Let me know what you think. Let me know if you're looking forward to it. Let me know if you're not. You know, like I said, I welcome all different kind of opinions here. Let me see. Did you see that portrait of Megan? Yeah. Let me see here. I did. And I'm surprised I didn't question it. Like, what the fuck is that? Let me see here. Yeah, near the end of the trailer, there was a portrait of Megan on the wall. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? Let me see here. Yeah, this one. Yeah, this is some shit that looks like you find in Resident Evil or something. You know, Megan loves that kid that she was protecting. I wonder if she painted that, because she got this creepy thing for this girl right here. Let me see here. Somebody said I'm literally straight in the middle. It could go either way. That is very true. That is very true. I'm looking forward to it. It better get its money before all the July movies swallow it up. That is very true, man. That's one of the things about movies today. And I always say this, being that we live in this digital age, we get too much. We get too many movies now. It's almost too much of a good thing. I remember, you know, back in the day, Megan would be this surprise sleeper hit because, one, you know, the idea would just hook people, but it just wouldn't have any competition around it. And then it would make it the movie that everybody's talking about. Damn, that Megan came out of nowhere. Damn, that bitch, you know, I don't know what she just came, you know, she surprised everybody. It would be the movie that you would talk about that you just didn't expect to be as big as it is, because there would be nothing around it. Now, you know, you got movies coming out week after week after week. You know, this summer, man, we got, I believe, tell me if I'm wrong, we got 2 superhero movies going against each other. And that is just dumb. I think you got Fantastic Four going up against Superman. And that's wild to me. If you were back in the 80s, you would get Superman maybe 1 month, and then a month or 2 later, you would get Fantastic Four. And then you would get one other big movie. And that was your summer. And you would get you would get, you know, some other movies that would be good and that would be big, but then you get the big blockbusters, and then you go down to like maybe some of the more mature movies or the movies with less budgets, and then you get some surprise hits later on, and then in August you get the movies that the studios just dump out of the trash, you know. Then that's how it would be. Today in this digital age, I believe that, you know, it's quicker to make movies. Even though budgets are inflated, that's going to actors and all this kind of stuff. I think they're still not as expensive to make on the production end. You know, we just get them done quicker. And it's just, you know, it just crowds everything up. You know, it's at the point now where people are talking about, should I go see Fantastic Four or should I go see Superman? You could actually go see both, but going to the movies is an expensive endeavor too. So I don't know, man. It's 3 blockbusters in July. What's the third? So you got Fantastic Four, Superman, but they're opening on the same weekend, right? That's crazy. What's the other? What's the other one? Jurassic World. Man, I never thought I'd say this as somebody who, as a kid, used to love movies, used to love going to see them. I could spend all day in the theater sometimes, and I did sometimes. But I never thought I'd see the day where I said, damn, it's just too much.